Hello everyone, it's me, Coffee Stitcher. It is the first day of May, so happy May Day to those who observe. How is everybody? Good. Thank you to everyone who wished me a happy birthday in advance. I do appreciate it. We have a lot to go over in this video. We have birthday start and new moon start. We have a regular whip update. We have 4 FFOs, a little bit of Q&A, as well as our May goals, May whip go. So we've got a lot going on. So sit down, buckle up. Yesterday I did a thing with the Oz Club about stitching, so that's why my background is stitching at the moment. It'll get changed back by next week. I was just lazy. Alright, so diving right on in, I also appreciate those who came up with a couple of ideas for handling UFOs and things like that. What I've kind of come up with, so this week, with Return to Office, there were like 2 days where I didn't get to stitch at all because I just had too much going on. I was exhausted Tuesday and Wednesday both. Thursday I got a little accomplished. Friday I did better. But we'll get to that in a few moments. So what I've decided I'm going to do, I was sitting there looking at it, and realistically, the amount of time I get to stitch on a Friday night adds up to about what my weekly, like, work time stitching would be. So from now, for at least the foreseeable future, Friday nights, when I'm in Virtual Stitchers, will be my stitch on what would have been my work project. So that's kind of how I'm going to do it. So it's going to be, I guess, a Friday focus piece. Look, it's there. But I do appreciate everyone who gave me some great ideas. Sandra Hayes asks a couple of good questions. She said she bought Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty, and Belle from Brooke's books, and her dilemma is now 14 or 28 count. And could I explain the pros and cons of each, because she does have some eyesight issues. In ones like Brooke's designs, she's actually really very good about not splitting blocks terribly often with her backstitch, and I'm hard-pressed to come up with a time where she's actually used any partial stitches on anything. So, in that sort of essence, with Brooke, if you have eyesight issues, I would vote just go ahead and do them on Ada. You can get all sorts of beautiful colors in Ada. And that would at least eliminate the potential eyesight issues, because you can, Ada is easier to count. Kreinik-wise, I'm in the minority here. I never had any of the issues that a lot of people seem to have with metallics. So the general rule of thumb, shorter lengths, if you're using, pardon me, if you're using number 4, you only want 1 strand, but that's really kind of it there. With the ribbon and such, you're best to always just follow her directions, because that's the easiest way to go. But I never ran into the problems that a lot of people seem to with it, so I'm not really a fair judge on that. She also asked what I think about the idea of doing full coverage on gridded fabric. I've heard wonderful things about it. I don't enjoy doing full coverage. The 1 or 2 times I've gridded, I haven't really felt like it helped me any. So that's kind of personal choice there, but I do know a lot of people love that. Anne Mousseau asks, what is my favorite color? Purple or green? Those are my 2 favorites. Purple more than green, but purple and green. Deborah Dixon asks, do you stitch past bedtime, or are you very disciplined about putting your stitching down? Usually I start falling asleep before bedtime, what I consider my bedtime. So I'm pretty good about putting it down. Every once in a while I'll push past if it's like I'm real close to a finish on something or real close to like a page finish. And I feel like that extra like 10-15 minutes will get me there. But a lot of the time, especially lately, my bedtime, I try to be in bed by about 10:30, and usually by about 10, I'm too tired to really stitch successfully. So I'm pretty good about that. Very rarely do I stay up past. Robin B asks, will I be stitching Satsuma Street's Animal House? And the answer is no. That one really doesn't appeal to me. I would have been I would have done a story had she done a story this year, and I guess she may still. I know last year she did a Christmas Sal towards the end of the year, so maybe she'll do another one, do a second stitch along this year. If she does another story, I'll happily do that, but I'm not probably gonna do, as much as I like looking at her designs, the big blocks of color are real difficult for me to stitch successfully, so probably not. All right. So let's go into the haul for this week. So I got a couple of really cool presents. The first came from Robert's Palace of Stitches. Actually, this came from Cheryl by way of Robert. It's a tote bag with roosters on it that's quilted, and it's got red gingham inside and a nice little snap, and it's super cute, and I loves it. It's really well made. I don't know if he's gonna start selling them or doing anything beyond just making them for friends, but if he does, I would strongly recommend getting them because it's a great bag. And then he sent, let's see, a wizard hat needle minder with the pride flag colors on it, and a chicken project bag. Which I'm going to grab because I'm going to use it for a project, which you'll see in a little bit. Okay, so there's that. So thank you both Robert and Cheryl for that. Then my friend Tiffany sent me some really cool unicorn fabric to try making my own project bags with. So I'm super excited about that. And she also sent me one of the Osmole skein journals, which I think are so cool. Let's see. And then I purchased this for myself. We just recently finished watching Seinfeld, and when I saw this, Stitch and Button, Vicky Abel, someone I guess had requested it, and she had enough to make another one, so I got myself a George Costanza bag. Because while really all of them are terrible people, I really love Jason Alexander, and the fact that it had his boudoir photo, and then the invitations for him and Susan, and the marble rye on a fishing pole, I couldn't resist. So I have another bag. Not that I needed another bag, but I have another bag. All right. So that is the haul for the week. I also had a small order of DMC that came from 123 Stitch, but that's not anything y'all care about seeing. So, let's move on. I guess we'll hit our FFOs first, and then we'll work our way through the rest. So, I picked up some more canvas, so I finished out I could while away the hours conferring with the flowers from a pedal pusher. This is again using Matt's tutorial. This one when I cut the fabric because I needed more or needed to use it for another project. I cut it not great, so this is about as good as this is gonna get, unfortunately. But I really enjoyed stitching that one. Then I finished. So I'm at 5 FFOs for the year. My Veronica and Ginger Little Mermaid. These will be going up on my wall over here soonish. My Kermit the Frog, singing the Rainbow Connection. And my Quirky Cryptids. So, those were the FFOs for the week. I know, 4 FFOs. Okay. Alright. So, what did I work on this week? Well, let's see. I worked on... I'll work on you. Count Your Blessings. I did go ahead and I've got my center goal on it. I apologize. There's someone riding some sort of like quasi-motorcycle thing going up and down our street really slowly. And it looks like she's wearing a McDonald's uniform from about the 1980s. It's very strange. Makes her happy, I guess. So if you're hearing that's what that is. Alright, so I got the middle part done. This is on a unknown, or not unknown, it was a Fabric of the Month from Ship's Manor, but it doesn't have a name. So I've got the top and the bottom left to do. This is actually going to be one of my Whip Go goals for next month. My friend Cheryl, of the tote bag, it was her. She was one of the squares that were landed on to pick. So it's and so she picked this one. So 500 stitches will get me the majority of the bottom done. So my goal is just going to be go ahead and finish out this bottom part here. So 500 stitches will be put into this. It will also be worked on this week, so we'll do May goals, and as Whip Go or if Magical Stitches is affected by it this week, that'll come up. So this will be used as, there will be 100 stitches for sure this week, because one of our tasks is to stitch on something that's designed to be a gift. And I'm figuring this will go to my mother when it's completed. So definitely 100 of those 500 stitches will go into that this week. Alright, then my birthday start was Oz Tree by Tiny Modernist. Here it is. So something I noticed as I was trying to figure out how to start, the branches make a complete circuit. So I could do half stitches all the way around back to my starting point. This is on, it's on a Fortnite fabric. I think it was just a one-off. But there's the branches half stitched and partially completed, so that the top, how far did I get? So basically this section here is done. You can sort of tell. So my plan for this month on it, because I decided I liked it well enough, it's going to stay out. Sorry, Secret Garden. I'll bring you back, though. Is going to be to finish out the top branch section here. Depending on how long that takes, I may adjust a little bit. But, so basically the balloon and those leaves and there. So, that's the plan at least. And as of now, I'm doing it in the called for DMCs. We will see, of course, what happens, because this is me. I've already got some plans to use some metallics and things, but because it's me, who knows what will happen. Alright, then I had my new moon, new start. Oh, I forgot to bring my... Okay, well, we can pull you up on here. I'm so sorry, I forgot to bring my tablet with me to easily show pattern pictures for the digital ones. So you'll have to deal with the fact that I'm using my phone. Was Snow White from Brooke's Books. And I got a fairly modest start on it. This is part of her apron. I'm planning to work, I'm going to work on this one the rest of today. Because one of my other Whip Go goals was 300 stitches on a, on my newest project. So, I believe I'm going to go ahead and just work on it today. But we'll see. Who knows what's going to happen as I kind of go through this. The only one for sure that I will not work on this week, because I'm going to need it for week 2 in Magical Stitches, is going to be what I show you next, which is French Kitchen. So French Kitchen came back out from the archives. This is what replaced Setsuma's Alice. So there's where I'm at on Freyement. I am not pronouncing that correctly. I really need to get better about that. But there it is. So my goal for this one is going to be to do at least half of the part. So I finished the words, so I think I'm going to work my way up. So this top half here is my plan. And we'll see. If this is one of those things that it stitches like super, super fast, then I may aim for a finish on it. But I think it's probably going to take about 2 months to do one. So. And it's in one of my fabulous Vicky Gable bags. Alright, then we've got Wicked Siblings. So my goal on it... Oh, I didn't show you the other thing I worked on this week. Okay, well, hang on. I'll grab that in a sec. So here's where I'm at. This is on a one-off from Fortnite Fabrics. So my goal this time is going to be to do the flora that's on the left-hand side, which is the little small white flowers and this small tree branch here. So we're just slowly working our way up that. So I think the way I'm kind of going to break this one, so the branch and those flowers will be this month. The stars, the little leaves here, and the moon will be a month. Probably 2 months for the big tree. We'll kind of see how the small one's going to be a good guide for how long that one takes. And then we've got the 4 ghosts, so I'll probably try and do the ghosts all in 1 month and hit the finish. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, roughly 5 more months left before this one should be finished. But it's coming along beautifully, and I really enjoy it. Okay. So the other thing I worked on this week that I'm going to... Actually, this is probably what I should work on today. Probably will. I did start the Frosted Pumpkins Under the Sea because it was already selling me. I'd already bought it because I really liked the octopus, but then I saw the stingray and I was just like, I have to stick to this. So I did actually start on this on one night, and I was just so tired. I literally got 19 stitches in. So, and this is on Many Waves from Ship's Manor. So, actually, yeah, that's going to be what I go ahead and do. I need to drop a couple of bobbins in there because I had to order a couple of colors. So, that is what I will work on. So, we'll set you up here. My bag for Snow White was out there, so I can't put it away. That's okay. All right. And do I have a... So clues 1 and 2 are out already. So I should be able to get those caught up on fairly quickly. I think once the really big dolphin's done, the rest of it should stitch fairly quick, I think. But my plan is to be caught up on it by the time part 3 comes out. And I figure I managed to get myself caught up on cryptids fairly easily. So this one should be no problem because it's a lot less stitching than cryptids was. Okay, what's in this bag? Stitch and Witches, which will come out this week to play. This is by Victoria Sampler. So here's where I am on it. And my plan this month is going to be to do the little alphabet section and then these 3 bands. Because these bands are not anywhere near as... There's not a super difficult one like there was with... with that spider lace. That was a lot. It was pretty though. Definitely pretty. So that's gonna be the goal there. And this one will get worked on this week because we're supposed to stitch on something that is as fun as a girls' night out. And that looks like that would be as fun as a girls' night out. All right, in this bag, we've got... Oh, that's Secret Garden, so you're actually going to be put away for the meanwhile. All right, in this bag, we've got Haunted House. Which is going to be my monthly 1 project, because I'm supposed to work on something that feels like a piece that feels like mine, so, or my home. So this, and then there's also a task in week 2 for Ghost. So this will be one of my monthly projects as well as one in week 2. But the goal is going to be to finish out the 2nd floor. So I'm aiming for a June finish because I don't think the top floor is as involved stitching-wise as the 1st or 2nd floor were. So I'm aiming for a June finish, but maybe July finish. All right. Then the next Hygge gets to come out. This is the last one in their summer grouping. Obviously, the goal on it is going to be just a finish. This one I have to do a bunch with no full stitches. This will be one that comes out this week for no full stitches. But there it is. This one, thankfully, doesn't have any ridiculous, excess stitching with it. So it should be fairly straightforward in that regard. But it does have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blends. So and that one's on a Fortnite Fabrics. So there's the full series so far. So I'm over halfway. This will put me 2/3 of the way done. Because I'm half done now, then 2/3, and then 3/4, and then a finish. All right. And these are all going to be done finished out individually. I think that's going to be interesting to figure out. It's going to require very careful cutting. But it's going to go in tiny, tiny hoops. So we should be okay. And if it can't go in hoops, then I'll figure out some other interesting form of finishing for it. Maybe. We'll hope. We'll see. All right. Another one that'll be out this week is going to be Summer Patchwork. Because we're supposed to stitch on something that relates to St. Patrick's Day, and then this next motif has a ton of green in it. So here's where I'm at on it. So I'm going to work on the motif that goes here, which is the bucket and smaller flower bush. So my plan is just do this motif this month, and then depending on, because these two are going to stitch real fast, they will definitely be done together. Depending on how this one goes, I may try to do all 3 in 1 month, which will give me a June finish. If not, then a July finish. All right. And then, since this is going to be the new Friday focus piece, until it's done, is Stitching Book Club's Pride and Prejudice. So I'm looking forward to having that one done. She did show a little sneak peek of the next one, which I'm very excited about. So my plan, and depending on when she announces it, and if it's not done yet, that may amp up my, oh my gosh, I need to finish this. So anyhow, that's kind of it for me today. I hope everyone has a terrific week. Happy May to the start of May. If you're participating in Mania, which I'm not, but I know there are some people that are still out there doing it, best of luck to everyone. And I'll see you next week.